Folks, these scammers are getting way more sophisticated. I'll get into that and then the latest home prices and insights for York Region for week ending March 27, 2024. Thank you to the many of you that have subscribed to this channel. If you're here every week and you've not yet subscribed, consider subscribing. Recently, I was speaking with one of my past clients, and he's telling me how his parents came this close to transferring a bunch of money to these online scammers. Let me tell you what happened. He phoned his parents saying, "Mom, Dad, I'm on my way to say hi. I'll be at your place in half an hour." His parents said, "Oh, okay, we might not be home when you get there. We're just going to be going to the bank real quickly. We're behind on our property tax. We need to pay it before we get fined." And my past client, my friend, ends up telling me, he goes, "Santo, I know my parents, and they've got no mortgage. Their credit cards are always zero. If they use their credit cards, they quickly go to the bank and make the payment, so they owe no interest. They have zero debt. And I know every year, once the property tax comes in, they pay it in full every single year. They do all the payments and stuff themselves, but I monitor their finance for them." So for them to tell me that they're behind in their property tax was a bit fishy to me. So I said, "Well, what are you talking about? You pay this every year." And his parents told him, "That's what we thought, but we received this email saying that we're behind and we're going to be fined and we got to make the payment." So my friend said, "Well, hold on. I'm on my way. Let me see the email." So when he got there, he sees this email and he's telling me, he goes, "Santo, I can't tell you how authentic and legitimate it looked. It looked so real. Turns out it was a scam. It was all fake, but the signature of the email, the way it was all worded, it could easily fool a lot of people out there." My friend, being a little bit more savvy, once you start looking into a little bit deeper, he said the email that it came from looked legitimate, but it was off by a little bit. And then the way the payment was supposed to be made wasn't, normal. So he caught it just in time. But I can't help to think, what if he wasn't on his way to visit his parents? Would they have made this payment? Would it have been caught by the bank? Now, this elderly couple, they do things directly at the bank in person. Well, what if they were just a little bit more savvy and did online payments? Maybe they would have actually made the payment and it would have been done quicker, faster, and that money would have been lost forever. These scammers are getting way more sophisticated out there. And we need to all do our part. We need to, especially if there's elderly people in our lives, we need to be vigilant for them. It's getting nuts. Technology is supposed to be making the world a better place, but it's also making it easier for the crooks out there to take advantage of other people. If you think this video can help somebody you know, please pass it along. If you get value from what we're talking about, subscribe. If you want to speak with me about your real estate situation, it's really simple. Up here, there's a link. Below this video in the description, there's a link to my calendar. Click on that. Book a time that's convenient for you. We'll talk about whatever's on your mind. Now, let's get into the numbers. Here we go, folks. We're looking at detached properties for York Region. We're going to be focused on Richmond Hill, Vaughan, and Markham. We're going to start off with Vaughan. Again, detached properties broken down by week. I have a whole year on the board. For week ending March 27th, 39 detached properties were sold. 11 of those were at $2 million or more. Now, 39 over the last couple of weeks, it's going up, but overall, 39 is kind of similar to what we've had a couple of weeks there now. Average sold price is $1,744,000. And because of these shifts in sales, And because of these shifts in the amount of property selling at $2 million or more, the sampling is not so large. And so you're going to get these peaks and valleys. Looking at this, I would suggest that average sold price is slowly creeping up. I'm kind of ignoring these really high couple of weeks out there. So average is trending up slightly. It's average sold price. Compared to last year, 1744 is 5% lower than where we were this time a year ago. The median price is also 5% lower. Now the dotted line, that's a 4-week moving average, just another way of looking at things. And the dotted line would also suggest that average price and median price slightly are trending upwards. 39 were sold, 44% sold at list price or more. Now that percentage trend was trending down. This 1 week, it's gone up. Let's see if the tide has turned, and over the next few weeks, we'll see if it's continuing to trend upwards. Listings, 66 were listed. These is just for detached properties, and active listings, not aggressively, but just by a little bit trending upwards. And months of inventory, if you kind of look back over the last 2-3 weeks, it's a little bit all over the map here. We were going up, then dropped, then up again, and now it's been dropping. We're sitting at 1.5 months of inventory. Here's Richmond Hill. 25 detached properties were sold. 9 of those were at $2 million or more. Sales trending up. Average sold price is $1,892,000. Also, difficult to see which way prices are going. That's because sales, it's quite low, so the sampling is not so large. The amount of property selling at $2 million or more, it's up and down, which affects average sold price, especially if the sampling, the amount of sales is low. So we're going to get these peaks and valleys. Compared to last year, 1892 is 3% higher than where we were this time a year ago. The median price is slightly higher, but pretty much the same where we were this time a year ago. 25 were sold, half, 56% sold at list price or more. Listings came down from 66, we went to 42 detached properties were listed for week ending March 27th. In a lot of areas, we've seen listings come down for week ending March 27th. It's the week before the Easter long weekend. Lots of sellers choosing to hold off if they're coming onto the market, thinking after Easter is maybe better than before Easter. Active listings came down from 1 week to the next, but overall it has been trending up. Months of inventory sitting at 2.3. Now the previous week we had this crazy week as 4.2. It's because sales were so low, but 2.3 is more in line to where we've been over the last 5, 6, 7 weeks. So let's take a closer look at Markham. 31 detached properties were sold. 6 of those were at $2 million or more. 31 sales, sure, I could see sales trending up slightly every single week. Average price, $1,669,000. That's extremely low of an average sold price for Markham. But we went from 11 and 9 selling at $2 million or more to only 6 selling at $2 million or more. Overall, I would say average sold price has been trending up in Markham, but I am ignoring this week and the current week that we're in. Compared to last year, 1669 is 14% lower than where we were this time last year. The median price is 13% lower. 31 we said were sold. 71% of those sold at list price or more. And Markham, as far as York region goes, really is the most competitive area as far as properties being sold at list price or more. The percentages are the highest we have in York region. Listings did come down from the previous week, and months of inventory sitting at 1.4. And if we go back to the end of January, 1.3, 1.5, 1.4, it's kind of, we've been hovering between 1.4, and only 1 week we had 1.8, but the highest before that was 1.7. So it's been quite steady, quite competitive for a while now in Markham. Here's a quick summary of months of inventory. Look, in some neighborhoods you're going to experience a balanced market, but generally speaking, for the freehold, for detached properties, it will be a seller's market. In a lot of areas, it will not be an extreme seller's market, but we're working with buyers and sellers and in Vaughan, Richmond Hill, and Markham, and we can see a high percentage of properties are being listed with an offer date strategy, meaning the list price, that's not what the seller's looking to get. They list it at a price to attract the eyeballs, to attract the buyers, but the seller's intentions and expectations are to sell much higher than what the list price is. Can be frustrating, can be tricky to compete in those situations, but that's the market we're in right now. You have to adapt. Thanks for watching. Have an awesome day.